Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
"74 combined years in prison. That's how Iceland's Supreme Court and the Reykjavik District Court respond to those responsible for Iceland's financial collapse. This brings the total to 26 bankers now behind bars in Iceland, with most being CEOs of large financial institutions rather than low-level traders. Most of those jailed will serve terms of 2 to 5 years, according to a report by Iceland Magazine, which notes that 3 executives at Landsbankinn and 2 at Kaup, along with 1 prominent investor, have been prosecuted. Their crimes include market manipulation, embezzlement, and breach of fiduciary duties. Their market manipulation destroyed the country's economy, and to this day, Iceland is still having to repay the global loan sharks at the IMF, as well as governments of other countries, which kept the nation operating. Iceland Magazine explains that rather than protect and reward the very institutions responsible for the collapse and the blood-sucking vermin that run them, the Icelandic government let them collapse, and then created a financial supervisory authority to strictly oversee the banks. Iceland's President Grimson noted, "Why are the banks considered to be the holy churches of the modern economy? Why are private banks not like airlines and telecommunication companies and allowed to go bankrupt if they have been run in an irresponsible way? The theory that you have to bail out banks is a theory that you allow bankers enjoy for their own profit, their success, and then let ordinary people bear their failure through taxes and austerity. People in enlightened democracies are not going to accept that in the long run." Iceland's President Grimson explained their strategy. "We were wise enough not to follow the traditional prevailing orthodoxies of the Western financial world in the last 30 years. We introduced currency controls. We let the banks fail. We provided support for the poor, and we didn't introduce austerity measures like you're seeing in Europe. While the country's economy is far from what it once was, it has stabilized and is in a position to recover. Meanwhile, the governments of the U.S. and Europe bailed out most of those responsible for playing a direct role in the financial crisis that crippled the global economy."
Come on, get up! Make the first move! It's my show! Make the first move! Yeah, get up off your butt!
You think I
yeah, go ahead, stand up! Stand up! Come on! Stand up!
Yeah,
Come there! Stand up! How many times it's done to people? Don't you understand the risk? Don't you understand the risk?
The U.S. Congress gave American banks a $700 billion TARP bailout at the expense of the taxpayers. Not one banker in the U.S. has even been charged with a crime relating to the financial collapse. There's still virtually no regulation of the banks, and they are pulling in a near-record $160 billion in annual profits, all from money created out of thin air. The Department of Justice, under Holder and now Lynch, continues to pretend to do the hard work associated with reining in the financial criminal banking institutions laundering drug cartel money. But fines and even penalties don't send the message that the banksters received in Iceland. Jail the bankers, the ones at the top, and free the taxpayers. It may be the most important meme the people of the United States could ever support. Jailing the bankers would bring the New World Order down like a house of cards.
We have a large house blend, please.
All right, let me get that for you.
Oh yeah, he's definitely one.
I gotta ask you this, it's just a matter of national security. I'm an important person now. Is there a reason you're paying with cash?
I don't understand how that's any of your business.
I have a couple 20s here, so I'm just gonna give you a 20. Is that cool?
Oh my God, they're everywhere. Oh, hold on. I gotta get myself together. I'm
John Bauer for Infowars.com.
General, what do you think about the FBI saying that there was a terror alert on Monday
about a potential Fort Hood situation.
The police are shoving people, shoving Alex, shoving the crowd.
Here we go, folks. I'm being assaulted.
Whether it's the radio show, the news websites, documentary films, or the nightly news, Infowars is the tip of the spear.
Is this another false flag stage attack to take our civil liberties and put more homeland security while sticking their hands down on pants on the streets?
It's up to us to set brush fires in the minds of men and women everywhere. And that's what PrisonPlanet.tv is designed to do.
You watch, the Assad regime is going to be blamed or accused of using chemical weapons against the so-called rebels.
What we see now is a war against reality. It's a war against the truth.
It's more vital than ever that supporters of freedom become members of PrisonPlanet.tv and share their membership with up to 11 friends and family. Visit InfoWarsNews.com today. Become a member, share your membership, and help take the InfoWar to the next level.